Hi everybody, Jo here again. Thanks for joining me today. As always, it's lovely. I feel really blessed to be able to spend time in your company. Now today we're going to be looking at making some festive tags. Now a few of you have been in touch and said that you love making tags, and especially this year, let's make everything. But you want some nice, I was going to say quick ideas. I think when it comes to Christmas designs, we want the integrity I can't even say the word integrity to be there, sorry. But also we don't want to spend ages. I think sometimes I have a special tag to make and I love to spend ages doing all the fiddly bits at the end, such as this one here. I love to add all my own little embellishments and bows, but sometimes we need tags that we can make, batch card make, like we do with our Christmas cards. So I've made a selection of designs here and I thought we'd have a look at them. Now again, for me, I just get all my Christmas stamps out and I put them in an A4 plastic box next to me here on my table. And then I can dip in and out, and I find that's the easiest way before I start sort of a tag making session or a Christmas card making session. And for example here, I mean, look at this, and I think, is this the snow shrub? You see, I should have written all the names down, shouldn't I? They will be in the description below. But I love to just make almost like a hanging garland. Just simple ink on the tag. And I know you're going to ask me about the actual tag bases. Well, these are from Lavinia. And if you haven't seen, we now have these fabulous tags. And they're made out of watercolour card, 2 sizes. And what it means is that maybe me, I tend to splash water at some point. But with it being watercolour card, I know I can do that. So we'll create one of each today. And as I say, this simple, add a nice pen background if you want. Some of the mini holly. And for me, Christmas, it's where the mini stamps really pull a punch for me. I must admit, I love working with them. And I've just got a little bit of stickles on top. You know, the new sentiment stickers. I just don't think you can go wrong. Got one here, just stamping around the edge. We'll make this one just to show you. But again, very, very simple design. We want something quite simple when we're creating tags. The back. If you get ink on the back, what I tend to do is, look, add ink around the edge myself. Maybe I could add some faux bleaching if I wanted, a little bit of stamping if I'd got time. But that, if you do get ink on the back, this one I've kept clean and simple. Look, I've actually kept it clean. But if I get ink on there, I'll just add more ink and make it look like it was supposed to be there. But that's our secret. You don't tell anyone that. This one, a lovely background that I love to do, a quick background, which I'm going to show you. And then just some simple stamping with a mistletoe stamp. One ink colour, the Shady Lane, a sentiment, some liquid pearls. Honestly, so quick and easy to do that. And I've just put some ink on the back ready. Now, you can write your message on there and you'll still be able to see it. There's a little bit of ink, but not too much. This one, same background, and I'm going to demo this one because this one's my favourite. As you can see, I get a bit carried away. I collect things as I'm going. I'm sure you do the same. Now, the threads, if you're going to want to know, the threads, look, oh, I have got a selection of these. Every time I put a Lavinia order in, look, I order a different colour, these fabulous craft threads. And I've just teamed those up with the colour to go with the ink. So what I thought we'd do, we'll have a play with these 2 designs. Now, just quickly, before I do that, I want to show you, I had a message from a lady saying, obviously, you can tell I'm into my florals. You know, make no excuse, I'm sorry, that's me. But I know I really should cater for all of you, and I totally agree. So I've made a tag with this lovely Christmas night stamp. So again, if it was for children or for men, because obviously sometimes we have to think of the males. So do look at your stamps. We've got a lovely Mary and Joseph stamp as well. So, you know, it doesn't always have to be. I go for my florals again. I'm sorry, that's just me. But we have other fabulous stamps in the range which will work beautifully for your tags and your Christmas designs. you know, you could always make a card to match your tag. See, there's an idea. Right, let's pop these to one side. And we'll create our smallest tag first. So as always, I'm just going to get my bundle of copy paper and we'll use this smaller one. So we've got the Shady Lane ink and we're coming in with this holly stamp, which is the larger holly. And we're just going to work our way round. And again, this will be perfect for batch card making. So all I'm going to do is I find it easier to start at the bottom, just sort of to plant one holly at the bottom. And then I'm just going to put a little bit there. And I am inking the whole of the stamp up. I know I only need part of it, but in the honest truth, it takes me that long to work out which part to ink up. I just find it easy to ink up the whole of the stamp. And for me, I find it easier just to work my way round. I do find Christmas music helps. A nice hot chocolate, marshmallows in. Or maybe you're into gingerbread latte, seems very popular this year. But I think when you're doing things like this, I always have a scented candle as well. I just think it sort of gets me in almost in the mood. Now, how quick and easy was that? So what we've done is we've done the surround. And it's nice just to frame it. So remember, your stamps can make frames as well. And what we're going to do, just to add a little bit of interest in the middle, I just added the mini holly. Now again, you could add it down here, you could add it up here. Let's do this one different. Let's put it there. And I'm just putting one. And then we'll add some colour. I've got a red Posca. Now you could use various things for this. You could use, we've got the gel pens, there's the glaze pens, your watercolour pencils. Oh, look, that's good. I've no holly, but I am just going to add the odd little bit of red just to keep the continuity of colour. Even though there's no berries on that side, we can invent some. Just so I've got a little bit of red peeping in. Add a little one there. Oh, we've got one at the bottom there. Maybe just a couple there. And as I say, how beautiful is that? Now, I'm going to look for a sentiment. What should we put on this one? And again, I've told you before, it takes me longer to look for a sentiment than it does. I'm going to go with Dear Santa. And as always, I just find my scissors. I find it easier to just have my scissors place. I think I might actually cut this in two. And actually put Santa there. And then that there. And then I'm just going to add a little bit of white Posca to this. Now again, one of our lovely ladies did point out I've been adding snow, you know, my Posca splats to all my Christmas cards and tags. And yes, she's right. In Australia, they don't get snow. So I'm not going to add any snow to this one. But if you wanted, you could add your Posca splats. Just adding a little white dot. You see, with me being here, mind you, to be honest, we always put snow on our Christmas cards in the UK, and it's not often we get snow here, is it? I think I just like my Posca splats. But what I think I will do is add some glitter. So we'll come in with the stickles, and this is lime green. And I've developed a bit of for Christmas, a bit of a sort of a way with using the glitter. Now I'm just going to edge with my red Posca. Just going to edge my Dear Santa, I think. Don't want to use black. Yeah, and that just ties it in Christmassy. Right, dot and dab we're calling this. Now, normally I put my stickles on my mat, don't I, and paint with it. But for Christmas, I've done a bit of a... So I dot it, I don't put it down. I literally use... And I want a bit round here. And I just find it quicker. And if it does spit, you know it does, it's rude. Doesn't matter because I can just dab that in. So it's a dot and dab for speed, for Christmas or batch card making. And you're getting quite a nice routine. It's amazing what you can do with one hand, just dotting and dabbing. There we go. And I'm just going to wipe my finger. And if I show you that, as I say, how quick and simple. And there's the one. So you could do this. You've got so many stamps that you could edge a tag with. And again, if you've got all your stamps out, it's a nice way of looking what stamps you've actually got. I mean, I must admit, I don't know about you, but I forget. So what we'll do now is we'll use our larger tag. And this background is a fabulous background. It's not my technique. It's been around for years. And it's just dragging the ink. Now for this, we're going to use weathered wood. I just adore this colour. And we're just going to hold the ink pad 45 degrees and drag. You could go along the card, but I like to do it across. Just like that. And get those lines. It's exactly what we want. But what I like to do is come in with my blender, my Lavinia blender, and just blend the ink round the edges. It just gives me almost that smoky feel. As I say, weathered wood just works lovely for this. And then I'm just going to go in the middle. So I won't lose those lines, but it almost blends them a little bit. And I just find it such a lovely way, look, to create a quick background. And again, if you were batch making these, you could very speedily have these backgrounds made. And honestly, when they're stamped up, nobody would know you made it that quickly. And think of the lovely, all the colours you could use. Let's turn this over. Looks a bit better, doesn't it? So for this one, we're using the fir cone branch, I think it's called. And we're going to come in with a pine cone. See, I've got so many cones in my head. The pine cone. And we're literally just going to make, again, you could go around the edge, but we're just going to make almost a nice hanging garland type design. So I think I'll put my first one here, and then I'll come in with a second generation there. And I just love this. Makes a fabulous wreath. And we'll add a second generation there. And I'm just literally building up my design. There's no rhyme or reason. And that's what I love about these. I want them to hang this way. And we'll just add. And that combination of first and second. And sometimes just a little bit off the page, look. There we go. If I bring this closer to show you, how beautiful is that? Now, I love that in itself, but the little mini winterberry really adds a bit of punch to this design. So I'm going to use the same brown, and I'm just going to take the ink off the stem, and I'm just going to hang one at the bottom here, and then I'll just hang a few. Don't need too many, don't want to overcook it. We want a nice Christmas design, not a pizza. So we've got 1, 2, 3. I think there's a nice space there for one. Right, I need one more because we need that odd number, don't we? So let's have a look. There, I think. Just popping in there. And then to colour it, I'm just going to, again, we could use the Posca, but it's good to show you something a little bit different. So we'll use our watercolour pencils. And I've got two lovely reds. Look, can you see? I think I've been using my reds a lot. They're definitely going down. And what I'll do is I tend to use two colours. So just going to go around the edge with the darker colour. And again, this is just a very quick colouring, no skill required. And then just go over the whole lot with my lighter red. And these are my watercolour pencils. So we'll add a little bit of water to make it pop. And again, keep them nice and sharp. And we'll put those straight back in the tin, which, can you tell, I'd filed on the floor. So excuse me for leaning down. And because I've got all my Christmas stamps out, there's not that much room. So again, my water brush is in my water pot, only to the level of the metal. And again, I'm just taking off any water drips that are on the metal. And we'll just add, and look at that. The colour really pops, and it doesn't matter that the grey ink's underneath, we still get that lovely, lovely red. Now, I'm going to add a little bit of faux bleach in as well. So I'm just going to tap, just going to add a little bit down here for added interest. Now, I know you're going to ask me, why didn't I do this in the beginning? And I like to do it after I've done my stamping, because then I don't have to wait for it to dry. Whereas I would have had to wait for it to dry and it wouldn't have been quite as flat. Although the watercolour card's very good, I like to do this at this point. Now, you could colour the fir cones if you want, but I like them as they are. And again, for me, we're just looking at something that would save me a little bit of time. Now, while we're looking, while that's just that faux bleaches, let me have a look at a sentiment. See, Wrap Up Warm, I think, could go well with this. There's one there that says Robin, but I've got an idea for that one. So I'm just going to pat down here so it's nice and dry, so my sentiment will stick. And I think we'll just put this in this corner here. So maybe if I stick the corner down first and do it that way. There we go. And what I'll do, I'll just quickly put my heat tool just where we've done the faux bleaching. And then the white Posca on the berries. Obviously, you would let your berries dry a little bit more, but that just really, doesn't it, just finishes it off. I mean, I could make these all day. I love them. And we will have some Posca splats. So, I'm afraid, stand by your beds, get ready. We are having snow on this one, I'm afraid. Is it going to be a snow flurry, or is it just going to be a little gentle? Maybe we just need to shake it a bit more. I've got 3 different pens on the go at the minute that they're all doing splats. And I've purposely not gone for the one where the nib's coming out. I think after Christmas I'm going to be treating myself to a new white. Let's go for the bigger one. Right, let's see. We want some, yeah, that's better. Christmas. Now, you can add your glitter to this one if you want. Again, I'm just not adding glitter to them all. And that's the beauty of it. You can make them so different, so individual. Even with batch card making. You could batch card made to this point, add snow to some, add glitter to some. But I just think that's lovely, don't you? So we'll add a little bit of our lovely threads. Now, I tend to choose 3. I'm just going to put that there. So what I tend to do is choose 3. Now, the trouble is, again, I'm dreadful with choice. Are you like me, or are you really good? So I like this grey, this one that's got the grey in. And I like that. Oh, I like that combination. Oh, what about that one? That's a nice, that one there. Yeah, I think we'll go for... So what I tend to do is just put them at the end so they're all the same length. And we'll just cut. Now, I've got a little tip for you. Now, when I nearly said when I was little, I know I'm still little. When I was younger, I had a sewing box with a needle threader, and I'm sure those of you out there who sew, Frida, I bet you could tell me, you probably can still get needle threaders, but I don't have one, but I do have a piece of wire. It's like sort of, it's not wire, you could use wire, it's sort of an elastic, that's the word. So I've got this piece of elastic, and for me, I use this, look. So I just pop the elastic through like that. And then I take my thread, put it through the elastic. I'm not sure if you can see me. And then just pull my elastic back and it will pull the threads through for me, so that then it's just a matter of putting those there and that's it, job done. And I didn't have to worry about poking my threads through there. So like I say, this is just a little piece of elastic that I keep on my desk. It's amazing, these little things. And look at that, job done. So I'd love to see what tags you create. And again, like I say, look at all your different stamps. We've got so many beautiful berry stamps. You could add the holly to this if you wanted. You know, depends how you feel. And as I say, for me, I just go mad adding embellishments as well. What about all those bits of ribbon that we've saved from our tops? It's an ideal time. So if I bring in my finished one, and then that one, and then there's the original holly one, and there's Dear Santa, and we've got the mistletoe, and we've got our Silent Night. Do you know what? I'm so pleased I've done this, because look how many tags I've made. And I've got a couple left in my packet here. So while I've got all my stamps out, I think I'm just going to create a few more. And I'm having a look. Oh, the Christmas charms. Now they'd work really well. Maybe a Christmas charm hanging down. Right, sorry ladies and gents, I'm going to have to go, because do you know what? I've just got so many ideas about some more tags. And don't forget our Santa there. And that's going to be perfect for Elliot's present. Well, I say present, we all know Grandma, there's going to be more than one, isn't there? So I think I'll have to use a whole pack of tags just for Elliot. Anyway, thank you for joining me as always. I hope you have fun, because that's what it's all about. And share your designs on Lavinia for You, please. And then we can all inspire each other. It's such a lovely family here. You take care. Have a lovely week, and I'll see you again next week. Love and hugs from me. Bye for now.